Hi, you've reached Tamara Shaw at Osteo-Tam Holistic Services in Keller, Texas. We also have a clinic in France, and we travel if you would like us to come to you. We're doing a series on natural remedies for animal anxieties. And I've written a book on dog anxieties, but I work with all animals, so I wanted to include other animals in this particular episode. This episode is about nutrition, and there are some things, rules of thumb, to think about when you're feeding your pets. The first thing is you want to do non-GMO and no colorant and no GMO. And that's because at the temperatures that the food is cooked at, the cinders become carcinogenic or can promote cancer. So you want to make sure that you have no preservatives and no added color or colorant in it. Now make sure you check the ingredients of the ticket, not just look at the front of the bag, because sometimes the front of the bag is not very succinct or the same as the ingredients in the bag. So now that you've all got the ticket of the food that you're feeding your dog in front of you, I want you to look. You want the first 3 to 4 ingredients to be meat. So the first 3 or 4 ingredients, you want that to be meat. The first ingredients on the ticket are going to be what there is most of in the package. Okay, so 3 to 4 ingredients of meat, that is essential. A lot of people go even further to say no byproducts. These are your first 4 proteins. After that, you want to make sure there is absolutely no corn. Remove the corn. If your dog has allergies, no soy or wheat. Okay, so if your dog has allergies, no corn, wheat, or soy. And if your dog has, but make sure there's no corn in your food. A lot of the top brands of dog food started putting corn in as the first protein, which means that that's the protein that there is most of in the food. And now look at the ticket, because sometimes it is the best dog food on the market, so-called best dog food on the market. But these are the recipes from the 1970s, and so now we need to change that up. No corn in the diet. New research says that can cause serious issues. As an osteopath for animals and body worker, natural practitioner, naturopath for animals, when I work on a pet, I can tell if the animal is eating corn by the texture of their muscles, because it stays in the body, and it can cause injuries, allergies, illnesses, and this is just in my experience. Other people might disagree, and I'm not a veterinarian, but this is what I've seen in my practice. So again, for dogs, 3 to 4 proteins in the beginning. Some people will say no byproducts. If you can feed raw, that's great. If you can't feed raw, and you want to give a little bit of extra protein, like chicken or something, or another protein that your animal can eat, combine that with your food, or make chicken and rice with vegetables. There are some really nice mixes that you can add to a diet that you're making at home to make sure your dog has enough of the vitamins and nutrients that it needs. But if you don't want to do any of that, making any food for yourself, you want to keep everything simple, then just look for a dog food that has no colorant, no preservatives, and 3 to 4 proteins in the beginning. Now, for cats are different. I'm going to put a link down below that you can check out. There's a veterinarian on the website catinfo.org. She has devoted her life's work to analyzing cat food and cat nutrition. And so on this particular website, you'll see her latest research. But to just do the Cliff Note version of her research, she is promoting wet cat food, because cats don't drink a lot. They don't drink enough, and this can cause contribute to their renal problems. And there are a certain amount of protein that you need, 50% or more in protein, and less than 10% in glucides or carbohydrates. Now, it's impossible to see that on a lot of canned cat food. There's that the percentages aren't listed. So go to her site or click on the form below and see if you can find your cat food there. You will be surprised. It's not the most expensive cat food that has the best levels of protein and low carbohydrates. Sometimes they're the worst. So make sure you check it out. Now for horses, we need to take on an individual basis on their energy level, their activity level. With dogs and cats that are athletes, then we can look at that differently too, on an individual basis. A little bit of corn might not hurt them as much because they'll be able to exercise. However, with horses, just so you know, corn and cracked corn, that can make your horse explosive if it's not getting enough exercise. That is what we put in horses, in the food for horses that race. So again, research is always changing, but those are the latest findings. And they've been analyzing the dog foods that were the top dog foods since the 1970s, and now they know that since then there have been higher levels of cancer, higher levels of allergies and digestive problems and renal problems than they had before. That's what I have understood and seen in the latest research. And that's on multiple research projects. So on that note, if you have any questions specific to your pet, please contact me directly on Messenger, WhatsApp, Skype, or at my offices in Keller, Texas. Okay, all of the information is on my website, www.tamarashaw.com. Now, now we're going to move into episode 5, from the natural remedies for animal anxieties, and we're going to start talking about how to know if your dog is feeling pain. And then we're going to get into the natural modalities and how to use them. You can go, and what's the benefits of acupuncture or acupressure for an animal? How does it work? It just seems sometimes it's hard to understand how these things work. Aromatherapy can be used in many different ways. And it's not good for cats, for example, but it's great for dogs and great for horses. So how to work with different clothing that can help soothe anxiety, flower essences, essential oils, phytotherapy, gemotherapy, crystal essences, homeopathy, hormone sprays, massage, meditation, Reiki. What are these things? Sound therapy, and one of my favorites, flower essences. Okay, we're going to get into that in the next episode. Make sure you subscribe and like. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.